My dad believes in God, but my mom is ready to stop believing because you always taught your daughter there's a heaven, there's an afterlife, there's angels, there's God. Yep. But she tells me that recently you keep feeling like you want to give up. Like, is this real? Mom, I'm here today for you. I'm here today to show you that it is. So right away when I'm connecting, I keep hearing life support. Who passed on life support here in the physical?
Our daughter.
Okay. She's here because right away when I was connecting, she showed me the vision of the life support machine. And this is her way of letting you know in spirit that first of all, that she's okay. And more importantly, that she does not want you to think about the way that you had to say goodbye to her here in this world. She was begging me to come over and to speak to the both of you today. And more importantly, she says to me, Matt, thank my family for the necklace. So there was a necklace that you have in memory of her, she tells me. Is that correct? And she says to me that she wants to thank you for the way that you have that in memory of her since her passing. And more importantly, I also know that it's hard for you to speak to her like this today. She says to me that the one thing that you both need to know is this. She goes, Matt, she goes, I'm not here to talk about the way that I died. Because she says, Matt, my mom and dad go through this again and again and again in their heads. And she says to me that she wants to let you know one thing. She wants to thank you. She's the only thing I want to talk about my passing is I want to thank them for giving me the chance to live, she tells me. Because she talks about second opinions. So second opinions mean to me that you brought another doctor in or you checked with another doctor to make sure that you made the right decision before letting go of your daughter. Is that true?
Yes.
She says to me that she needs you to remember that because she says to me, Matt, I want my mom and dad to know that there was no way I was coming out of this. She says, I can't go back and change what had happened. But the one thing that I can let my parents know, Matt, is that I'm there and that I'm with them. And she's bringing this through. And by the way, when I talk to your daughter, she is so beautiful on the other side when I'm connecting with her. And literally when I'm speaking to her, she was just young when she passed here in the physical world.
Yeah.
She was 8.
Because when I'm connecting with her, she looks like a little princess. Like she's showing me like her going and like even though she was 8 years old, like your daughter shows me, I feel like at that time she was just getting into makeup or just learning how to like doll herself up because she's showing me her going like curling her hair and doing these weird things. And I'm like, but you're 8 years old. Like, what the hell are you doing? Mm-hmm. And she goes, Matt, she goes, tell my parents, they'll know, they'll understand. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
She's also telling me when I'm connecting with her that she was obsessed with clothing and changing her outfits here in this world. Like she shows me that right before she died, I see her like in and out of the bedroom, like changing her outfits a million times. And she shows me when I'm connecting with her that when she was here, she was obsessed with like watching YouTube and things like that. She shows me her watching like older girls and wanting to be like the older girls, she says to me. I keep seeing dance when I'm connecting with her.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's showing me like her being a dancer when I'm connecting. She was obsessed with like the dances. Like, you know how today, like everyone's on the TikTok and learning the dances?
Right.
Yeah.
Like I see her in front of a computer screen, like trying to learn like different dances and do different dances. Is that true?
Very much.
So she says to me, Matt, she goes, that's how I want my parents to think of me in heaven. Because when I'm connecting with her, spirits will do different things to get my attention. And she shows me her like putting on makeup and dancing and doing all of these things. And she goes, this is how I want my family to remember me. She also says to me that she sends you the butterfly. She wants you to know that the butterflies are her. And she goes, Matt, if you tell my family that, they'll know in an instant that I'm there. Because you said that if this was real, talk about the butterflies.
Yep.
If I tell my parents that, she goes, they'll know right away that it's me. And you just felt the chills.
Yep.
That was your daughter's soul that you just felt go right through you. There was nothing that they could have done to prevent my passing, and she needs you to know that. Can I tell you everything?
Yep.
Your daughter says to me that there's still a piece of you that feels as though that there was something that went wrong at the hospital or something that went wrong with her care.
Yeah.
And your daughter says to me, Matt, she says, I want my parents to know that everything was done for me. That's what she tells me. And I really need you to know that because that's what's stopping you from healing is that you trusted doctors and nurses and people being with your daughter to help heal her. And you feel that they let you down. She says, please tell my parents they were the best parents to me. She says, but I can't see them go through this pain. She said, because every single day, there's things that you stop yourself from doing because you're missing your daughter. The one thing that your daughter wants to remind you of is your love for one another. She says to me, because Matt, she says, I've been seeing my parents fighting and I've been seeing my parents getting upset with one another, she tells me. She says, and it's not because they don't love one another. She goes, it's because they're both in pain over me. She goes, and I have to let them know that I am at peace on the other side. And I want to remember them the same way as I did here in this world, loving each other, being supportive of one another, and having the family that we had here in this world. Because your daughter needs to remind you of one thing. She goes, tell my parents we're still a family, we're still a family. And she's acknowledging that. She says to me, you refuse to change her room here in this world. she's talking about. And she tells me that she watches you because she tells me you go in and sit in her room and we'll talk to her in her room. Is that true?
We used to.
We used to. We moved, but we used to, yes.
She says to me, Matt, she goes, please let my parents know that when they kept my bedroom set, when they used to sit and talk to in my room and they would talk to me, she goes, I heard everything that they said. And your daughter is like making me say all these things because she needs me in every which way to validate that she's really here. Because she says, Matt, my dad believes in God. She believes in the other side, she tells me. But my mom is ready to stop believing. That's what she tells me. And it's so hard for you because you always taught your daughter there's a heaven, there's an afterlife, there's angels, there's God. Yep. But she tells me that recently you keep feeling like you want to give up. Like, is this real? Somebody, and you keep saying to your daughter, just somebody give me a chance. Somebody show me that this is real. Your daughter says, Mom, I'm here today for you. I'm here today to show you that it is. And your daughter says, Matt, you need to tell my mother this because I have to give her every reason to keep living life here in this world. And she goes, and that reason is this, is that here in this world, life is short. You saw that with your daughter. But I can tell you is that even if you live to be 100 years old, life is still short. When we get to the other side, what's amazing is that all these years that we spent here in this world, even if we live to be 100, just seem like a few short second moments and hours. But when we get to the other side, we're with our loved ones forever. So your daughter's saying to me, Mom, enjoy your life here in this world. Enjoy your time with Dad because your husband is a great guy. And I keep hearing your daughter's spilling the beans, okay? And your daughter's telling me that he's been trying to take you on trips and trying to go certain places with you. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Am I ruining a surprise? I keep hearing of a cruise. I'm not supposed to be talking about a cruise.
Yeah.
Did you not tell your wife? I'm sorry. Did I ruin this?
No, we took Ashley on a cruise.
She's telling me that you've been wanting to go on different cruises.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's even showing me where it is. I keep seeing the Bahamas and different places. Your daughter's telling me this. She says, Matt, please tell my parents that it's okay to go and celebrate. It's okay to enjoy. That's what she's saying to me. She says, because as you enjoy life, she says, I'm right here with you. She says, and I'm that butterfly that follows you. I want them to know that what they saw here in this world was not a permanent goodbye. But your daughter does want to thank you for one thing. She tells me that you asked to spend private time with her body or private time alone with her after her passing.
Yes.
And she says to me, Matt, I will never forget that. I will never forget what they did for me. She says, but please let them know that in heaven, they are still my parents. But the only difference is instead of them protecting me and watching over me, their job is done. She says, I'm now watching over them. I'm their angel in spirit, she tells me. I really wish I could come through the screen and hug the both of you right now. Because being a medium, the hardest thing about my job is I can see the pain that the two of you have been going through since the time that your daughter had left this world. And I can also see your daughter showing me the hope that you've lost through the process. But I'm really hoping that this reading here today shows you that she is here and with you without a doubt.
Yes.
And I'm really hoping that tomorrow it gets easier for you. When we end this call, what's so amazing is that your daughter doesn't stay with me. She's there with the two of you. She says, so Matt, please tell my parents that all I want to see is their love and them enjoying life. She says, and I want them to do it for me.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to leave you with that.